My name is Philip Bradford, and this is my lovely wife, Renee. So glad you're here. We're here to tell the story about when we first got married. I'm saying to set the stage for you. We were young, and we had gotten married and lived in an apartment for about a year, and we decided to build a house in a brand new neighborhood, and we were so excited, and we had neighbors around us, and there was a group of neighbors named the Grosses.
So we were not really going to church when we first got married. We weren't, really doing anything relational wise with God. And when we got this house and we started to talk about having a family, I said I felt a pull that we should go to church. And there was a really small community, non-denominational church that was at the YMCA. And that's where we felt comfortable, and that's where we went. And that's where we met the Grosses. And they were a couple that just happened to live a few doors down from us in the same neighborhood. And they had just come back from China. They were missionaries. They came right up to us and said, "Hey, you're our neighbors." And we were like, "Yes, we are." And somehow, I don't even know how it happened, but we ended up starting a Bible. They started a Bible study and we started going to it. So they just somehow became such a big part of our lives at that point. I feel like we spent a lot of time with them and just talking and getting to know them. I admired Chris so much. They were missionaries in China, and then they were missionaries to us. Anyway, we started becoming more active in our church. The church actually started to hold services at the high school where Philip taught, so he was the facilities person there. We helped set up. We had a little gathering at a park, and they had a baking contest, and I won. I was very excited. I love to bake, and people in my small group know I love to bake treats when we meet. So I had won for this chocolate cake, and I was just so excited about that. And it was a little while later, I felt this this gnawing feeling that I needed to make this cake for the Gross family. And I felt it was very strange. It was very odd. I didn't know what that was, what that gnawing feeling was in my heart, but it just wouldn't go away. So I just made the cake I had made for the church's baking contest, and I went over to their house and I rang the doorbell, and Chris answered, and I said, I don't know what this is all about, but I feel like God told me to make you this cake, so here's this cake. And she got really teary and said to me, "Did you know today was my daughter's birthday?" And I said, "No, I didn't." And coming back from overseas, they didn't have a lot, and what they had planned that day hadn't worked out for their oldest daughter, Crystal. And so I had just brought her birthday cake, and they invited Philip and I to come over and celebrate with them that night. And I just remember that being just profound for me, and really understanding what that nudge was, what God's voice was.
And our relationship continued. It was wonderful, and we grew a lot with them. I'd say they were our first big step of many steps, which is, looking back on it, it really was the first step in a long journey and relationship with Jesus.